In 2099, London, a man named Wilf is seen looking for someone. Soon after, a teenage girl, Alida, approached him. Wilf asks her as to what kind of mess she's gotten herself into now, but she tells him that he's the cause of the confusion. She is ashamed of Wilf because it appears that he has some dangerous friends. Wilf inquires from Alida about her current activities. Alida tells him that she wants to save the world. Wilf tells her that their world is long past saving. Alida points out that she isn't speaking about their world. She appears to be discussing about saving other worlds. The year is 2032, and the setting is in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Flynn is an ordinary young lady who lives with her brother Burton, a retired army officer, and her terminally ill mother, who is blind and is suffering from cancer. Burton and Flynn are working extremely hard to raise funds for their mother's medication. When Flynn notices that her mother's medicine is running low, she goes to Burton's gaming room, where Burton has earned money by playing VR games. She diverts Burton's attention because she is concerned about her mother's pills. Burton informs her that he is struggling in the game to earn money and that if he completes the level, they will have enough money for today's medicine. Burton asks Flynn to assist him in playing and passing the level. Flynn puts on the VR headset and begins playing the game. The game appears to be very advanced in time. Burton is taken aback by Flynn's abilities in the game. Flynn exits the room and instructs Burton to send money via her cell phone. A parcel arrives at the store late at night for Burton from Milagros, and it has taken several months to arrive. Flynn hands the package to Burton. Burton tells her about it, explaining that it is a cutting-edge VR and the most recent technology for playing the game. He tells her that they will give them enough money to take care of their mother and become wealthy in months, and that it is currently in beta testing. Burton instructs her to use his ID because she has outperformed him in the game. Flynn initially objects but eventually agrees when Burton inquires about their mother's expensive medicine, Tamosine. Burton assists her in starting the game and tells her as to what she needs to explore and achieve in the game. Flynn counts from 5 to 0 and enters a game which she enjoys a lot, as it is so realistic. Flynn is riding a motorcycle through an advanced city, and a girl guides her by voice to a specific location. She inquires about the game and tells her that she is sensitive to everything. The voice tells her to enter a building where someone is waiting for her. She instructs her to say, "I have arrived," as it's a code to open the door. The robots greets Flynn and register her as Mr. Ice. Her mission is to persuade a lady, Mariel, at the party and take her home. She persuades her and manages to convince her to come with him. While on the way, the voice tells her about the glass ampoule in her pocket and instructs her to open it and place it under Mariel's nose. The ampoule will make her unconscious. Flynn gets into a fight with the robot driver, who is programmed to kill anyone who hurts Mariel. She manages to kill him. She then took over the car and arrived at the location, where she again says that she has arrived and the door opens. There, she meets the voice lady who had instructed her throughout the mission. She tells her to leave now and that she will see her tomorrow. Flynn chuckles and tells Burton that she felt like she was there in the game and that she was playing in Burton's body. She tells her about the game's kidnapping. Burton is also pleased because they have sent them a large sum of money and want them to join tomorrow again. Flynn tries to stand up but becomes tired because the game appears to be affecting her in real life, but she overcomes it. Flynn later goes to the city to buy her mother's Tamosine pills and is confronted by the gangsters who demands that she has to buy all of the pills at once and that they can't just give her one single pill. Soon after, Burton's old friend Connor arrived to assist Flynn. Mr. Pickett, the gang boss, becomes enraged because this is an insult to him as his men are afraid of Connor. The following morning, Flynn puts on the VR again and finds herself in an operating room. The previous woman, named Alida, was also present there and asked her to help him overcome his pain, and they soon transplanted Mariel's eye into hers. Later, she awakens and discovers herself in the car with Alida. They soon arrived at a suspicious location, where she scanned her eye to gain access to the building. They goes down to the basement, where Alida tells her about the place of infinity in his palm, an hour of eternity. They arrive at a location where Flynn notices an inverted pyramid. Alida asks her to scan her eye into the pyramid hole. The scanning hurts her, and she tries to flee, but Alida forces her to scan and master it. Soon after, a man named Daniel approaches them, and she tells her to defend her, as he is there to kill them. Flynn tries to stop him, but Daniel overcomes her with his skills and ties her hand behind her back. While scanning Alita with his eyes, Daniel finds her true identity. He fires a sonic bomb at Alita, causing her to collapse. Flynn tries to free herself and discovers a robotic arm beneath her skin while feeling pain in real life. Daniel was on the verge of killing Alita when Flynn intervened, allowing her to escape. He tells Flynn that he will soon find her actual location. As Daniel fired the gun at her chest, she quickly left the game. She feels ill and leaves Burton's room, saying that she will never play the game again. The next morning, Flynn gets warned by a message from Wilf as she is in grave danger, but she ignores it, thinking that someone is just trying to mess with her. At night, while closing the store, she again gets the warning as a $9 million bounty is set on her head. Flynn gets back home and tells Burton about the warning. Burton thinks that it isn't real and maybe the man wants him to play the game again. He then tells Flynn to forget about the game and let him enjoy his party with his army friends. Therese, another higher personas of the game, informs Daniel that a breach of this magnitude puts Alita and the man at the Research Institute in grave danger. Therese informs Daniel that he has disappointed her. Daniel informs her that he has posted it on the dark web to eliminate them and that their offer has been accepted by an ex-military elite unit. Mills warns Burton to be cautious because something like this also happened to Connor, so Burton becomes suspicious and alerts his army colleagues. Burton uses the drone to conduct surveillance of the area, and they soon notices a squad of people armed with weapons approaching them. Burton instructs Flynn to accompany her mother inside the house. They were able to hack the enemy drone and sync their location. Burton and his friend were connected to the most recent military technology. They began killing the intruders rapidly as they knew where they were and appeared to be trained soldiers. Flynn discovers an enemy inside the house and attempts to stab him before escaping. The man almost killed Flynn, but Burton quickly shoots him from the sniper. Burton informed his colleagues that they have killed 10 of the intruders and that 2 of them are still missing. As they get encountered by the other 2 men, Burton notices that they are out of ammo, and it is difficult to kill the remaining 2 as they have also hacked the drone's back. Suddenly, Connor appeared out of nowhere and killed the remaining 2 men. Wilf tries to communicate with Alita and asks her about her work at the Research Institute in exchange for money, but Alita is not interested in telling anything because she is not after money. Lev Zubov communicates with Wilf and tells him to work for him as a fixer and to help him solve the case because a bounty was set on Flynn on the dark web and they are fortunate that she is still alive. He instructs Wilf to construct a peripheral for the girl to communicate with when she returns to the game. His assistant informs him that Wilf is not the right person for the job, but he tells her that their only job is to find Alita. Flynn logs into the game again and finds herself in her own body. Wilf inquires from her about the whereabouts of Alita and shows a video to her as she was the last person seen with Alita when she went missing. He also informs Flynn that she is not playing a simulation and that she has traveled from a quantum tunnel tech to 70 years in future London. When Wilk shows Flynn a newspaper from the past about her mother's death on September 22nd, she becomes suspicious. Wilf asked her to assist him in finding Alita in exchange for a medicine formula that will save her mother from brain tumor. Wilf tells Flynn about Lev Zubov and his hobby of recreating things from different types of DNA. He tells her that they are here to meet Lev and that he is the man who has hired Wilf to find Alita. Lev informs her that she is controlling a robot body through data transfer from her world. He further informs her that her task is to learn about what happened to Alita West. Lev's technical, Ash, informs her that Alita was the one who made it possible to connect Flynn to their world, and they are concerned that if Alita is not found, Flynn will lose connection. Flynn inquired as to what would happen to her brother in the future, but Wilf informed her that they only have information up to a certain point. They appear to be keeping something from Flynn. Flynn informs Burton that they are sending a large sum of cash of $250,000. She also assures him that they will send it via lottery ticket, so he doesn't have to worry. They receive the money late at night in the form of winning a lottery in their friend's name. Mr. Pickett, the gangster boss, also notices them. He later enjoys his night by playing a VR game, but soon notices a man, Daniel, approaching him inside the game and asking him to kill Flynn in exchange for a $10 million bounty, and that he can send 2.5% advance for confirmation. Mr. Pickett initially mistook it for fraud, but when he receives the deposit, He is both happy and surprised. At night, Flynn and Burton sees their mother regaining her eyesight and recover. The following morning, Flynn tells her friend, Billy Ann, about everything that has happened. She is surprised to learn about the future, but Flynn imagines something wrong in the future of London because she has witnessed a very few people. Because of the threat to Flynn, Burton has purchased expensive weapons. Flynn asked her to come outside to talk, but when Burton notices Flynn's hand stiffening, he asks her about it, but Flynn says she doesn't know. On the way home, Flynn tells Burton that she has told Billy everything that made Burton angry, and he warns her not to do such things because it could endanger their lives. In 2099, London, Wilf pays a visit to her mother's house, and her mother tells her about Alida, saying that the last time they met, she asked her where she was staying, but Alida tells her the answer in the form of a riddle. She says that where snow last fell in London. Flynn returns to her peripheral Wilf and informs her that they will be looking for Alida's clues in Buckingham Palace. They quickly exits the car, and Wilf tells her about the link, which she can control with her fingers to communicate with Wilf, and how it is fully sensible, like two souls getting one. They split up, but Wilf notices a Met Cody, a police robot, following Flynn. Wilf quickly approaches her and informs her secretly that a plan to eliminate the robot appears to be illegal or expired. Wilf has made it safely, and Flynn asks the robot if she can go home, and signs out. Mr. Pickett agrees with Burton to leave them out of his way, and that he will not interfere in their matters. In exchange, Burton will pay him 200 grand every week. Burton sends first week's pay through Billy's husband. Pickett is pleased to receive money from both parties, but he still instructs Billy's husband to look into Flynn's situation. In future London, Wilf informs Flynn that Alida has left a clue that appears to be a riddle, but is surprised when Flynn informs him that Snow could be the name of a person in the riddle. Wilf quickly asked his computer about the location of Jon Snow's death and discovered Alida's home in London. Flynn assists Wilf in entering the operating room, and they discovered 2 dead peripherals. Wilf slashes their back to investigate their connections. Flynn becomes even more frightened when she notices her house map present there. Wilf also discovers Alida's implant, which she had removed after the attack, and thus she can't be tracked now. Daniel appeared out of nowhere with a robot. Flynn tries to fight but is shot by Daniel's sonic gun, causing her great pain in real life. With Wilf's assistance, she manages to take the sonic gun from Daniel and interrogates him. He tells them that she has stolen something from them. Daniel is soon killed by the robot controlled by Therese. During the night, Burton notices Flynn becoming extremely enraged but then experiencing trauma. Burton transports her to the hospital because it appears that Flynn's health is deteriorating. Burton tells the doctor about the game, and the doctor instructs them not to play it again as it is damaging her health. Therese creates a new robot model same as Daniel and asks about Wilf, who tells her that Wilf is Alida's brother who is assisting Flynn. Later, Therese informs Lev about Wilf and Alida and threatens him with extreme violence if he doesn't hand over Alida to her. Lev says that he'll think about it. Therese informs him that Alida has stolen something very important from her research institute. While Flynn takes some rest, Burton and his friend decides to wear the VR to find what happens in the future. As his friend wears the VR, he finds himself in Flynn's peripheral. He attempted to flee the house while Lev quickly hacked his peripheral and returned him back to his world. As Flynn was playing a home movie in her VR, Wilf arrived there and informed that Alida is his sister. Flynn is taken aback by the news. She goes to Lev's house and informs her assistant that she requires more peripheral for Burton and Connor, as they also wants to come there. Flynn inquired as to what had happened to the people of London, as there is only a few seen on the streets. While she was investigating the city, Burton's friends were trying their best to maintain her connection positive. Ash takes her to the graveyard and tells her the truth about the future of their world, in which an electric grid station is going to be hacked in 2039. Following that, a vital virus in 2041 will kill 40 billion people worldwide. And finally, a massive terrorist attack will happen in the United States in which the terrorists are going to blow up a nuclear missile. Flynn becomes shocked after witnessing the massive disasters that will happen in the future. Subscribe to see more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.